You may have noticed lately that the world is profoundly insane, life is difficult, and that the mere act of being, which is your constant responsibility, amounts to an evernight of confused suffering one rarely gets relief from. In times like this, it's natural for the artist, a sensitive creature, to ask themselves, what's the point? Why make my drawings and paintings at a time like this? Why should you keep drawing these cute little whatevers when the world isn't asking for them? When there's bombs dropping everywhere, and most relevant to artists currently, every major company in the world is now pushing software that can generate any picture you ask for in a couple of seconds. How are you supposed to maintain the huge amount of psychic energy it takes to make art when everything seems to be pushing against it? How indeed, detectives. The question can become even more poignant if the artist has a somewhat repulsed relationship to the work they make. Maybe they don't like the perceived quality of their work at this point, or maybe they currently make pictures about stuff that they themselves consider to be small, or unimportant, or even degenerate. Yes, degenerate. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Why keep going when I'm not even sure that I like what I'm making, or I'm even ashamed of it? Let me tell you up front, yes, it's still important to make your art. Of course it is. What's interesting is that in these challenging times, it's probably more important than ever, not less. It may just be important in a new way. We may need to think of why we do art differently, and that's naturally going to have some effects down the line. First off, let me make the ultimate disclaimer. You don't need a good reason to draw or paint or make any other kind of art. You can just do it because the want or the need to do it emerged within you. And you don't actually need to justify it to anyone, including yourself. Now, if you're the kind of sage who can actually act from the place those words are coming from, please just close this video and go draw. But if you're like the rest of us, that notion maybe brings a little sigh of relief. But you get back to needing some good goddamn motivations to work this hard pretty fast. Maybe it's a good idea to start off by talking about some of the old, classic motivators that are getting shifted before moving on to some shiny new ones that might replace them. Many of us started down the path of drawing for one of two reasons. First, and most common, is because we saw it as a gateway to a particular form of expression that we were fans of. It became our way of hopefully getting involved with comics, anime, video games, movies, the lineage of 1600s pastoral landscapes, what have you. There's versions of this reason for every kind of gateway media. It's important to note that with this first reason, people usually start out more in love with the product. They're excited to show people their manga, their video games, and drawing is just a way to get there. It's a means to an end. And then they sometimes discover that they love drawing for its own sake along the way. The second most common reason that we get really into drawing is because you inexplicably have found yourself already in an arranged marriage to drawing, probably since you were a kid and probably since your earliest memory, and now you're trying to make a living out of it, mostly so that no one can stop you from doing it and so that you can do it a lot, usually by drawing as a service for others. These types of people tend to love drawing for its own sake, right from the beginning, and so are less concerned with the final product. They're fine working on all sorts of stuff, as long as they're drawing. Both are still good reasons to draw, even though the second one is basically a compulsion. And both are still viable paths forward. But they now have an alternative, shitty solution that didn't exist before, which is AI. You could spend 20 years learning to draw well to make your comic, or you could use AI to generate the panels. And a mid-level marketing executive could hire you for $200 an hour to make the images for the new ad campaign. Or they could just check really quick if AI could do an okay job on them. The button for it is right here at the top of their browser window, after all. Don't worry. When it does a good enough job and they have to lay you off because of it, they'll be sure to tell the news that Gen AI had nothing to do with it, to help you save face. To deny these developments doesn't affect these two most common reasons for pursuing art is asinine. But affecting them doesn't mean destroying them. I think you should still spend the 20 years learning to draw well. And I think the executive should still hire the human artist for the campaign, and not just out of a sense of charity. But if anyone will do what I think they should do, you may be surprised to discover, is entirely not up to me, unfortunately. And though I think they should do these things, the direct demands here, to ship your finished comic, to get that ad campaign done, the incentives there are going to push more and more people and companies towards the perceived benefit of AI for at least the near future. So, let's move on to the newer, or just neglected, motivations that are becoming relevant because of the particular needs of our benighted age. My new favorite is that art, drawing, painting, and creating by hand in general are rapidly becoming a form of protest. That's a pretty different energy for doing art than what many of us have gotten into it for. Protest art was a rarefied form that was mostly reserved for fine artists, and especially those coming from oppressive political regimes. But these days, there's more to protest than the typical politics. From now on, any act of drawing will also, implicitly, be a choice not to use AI. And if you haven't looked at the S&P 500 or worked at an office lately, that is tantamount to denying the entire logic of our economy. And this will be the case until AI drops out of broad, accessible use completely, or the whole vibe of our culture shifts. So, let's agree for now that, yeah, it's protest. But is protest supposed to feel good? I mean, our motivations to draw should make us feel good, right? Am I supposed to have an angry, spiteful, self-righteous vibe the whole time I'm working? Like I'm holding a sign on the picket line? Well, you can, actually. And I personally know artists who thrive with those kinds of prickly motivations. It's pretty damn viable, actually. But if it doesn't align with your temperament, protesting, boycotting the current cutting edge of things, can actually feel good. An apt comparison here is to something the meditation community calls the joy of renunciation. If you've ever heard of FOMO, the fear of missing out, you may have also heard of the jocular introvert counter to that idea, the joy of missing out. The joy of renunciation is just the ancient spiritual precursor to that idea. In this age of speed, optimization for its own sake, and just doing the same thing as everyone else while loudly bloviating about how unique you or your company are, to sit and slowly draw for no external reason, but just because it nurtures an an unspeakable something at the heart of your being, is positively countercultural. If you disagree with the reprobate values of our zeitgeist, if you currently cast a skeptical eye on our society, then every minute you sit and draw in slow, smoldering peace, you enact your own virtues in the face of the mediocre ones served to you every day by companies, ads, and algorithms. Please take note that this reason, if it lands for you, is a good one even if you're currently dissatisfied with your work, even if you find it unimportant or even degenerate. It's the act that matters. The doing is the protest. The end product doesn't really matter, and certainly doesn't need to look like any sort of propaganda or anything like that. Go ahead and fight the power with your cute dog people in thongs? Jesus. The next reason I want to talk about is not a new one. It has always been true and is often discussed on this channel, if on unfortunately few others. And that's that for many artists, making art keeps them from going completely batshit crazy. And that's always a good thing, isn't it? Especially at a time like this. Especially when you consider the alternative. You being an irritable, unresponsive, depressed, and fidgety mess with low impulse control. When you think about it that way, everyone in the world, especially those closest to you, should really thank you every time you draw. They won't, because they don't get it. But this is very important, and one of the main reasons that making art isn't actually selfish. Letting yourself be a preening, resentful, close-hearted neurotic who can't show up for anyone in their life when you could have prevented that with some sketching time, well, now that's selfish. You see, not drawing, for those who want to do it, leads to a sort of spiritual constipation. The immense creative energies that drawing would otherwise release instead get backed up, probably in the Kundalini heart chakra pineal gland, clog the system, and ultimately go pathological and turn on themselves. Instead of expending your creative energy on, say, how to stage your background to support your subject, you wind up expending that same creative energy on deducing just how exactly you fucked up your life, taking a careful measure of all of your social embarrassments and cataloging the unique shape of your familial conflicts. The classic ruminations that reduce us all to gibbering messes and that don't actually contact reality 99% of the time. Drawing doesn't make these things go away, but I promise, if you drew more, you'd care about them less. So in this sense, drawing can be thought of as medicinal, prescriptive, like the more widely accepted meditation. It's just something I need to do every day or else I'm an asshole. You don't want me to be an asshole, do you? Put on your oxygen mask first, before attempting to help others. The last reason I want to give today for why you should keep making art in these troubled times is something like Pascal's famous wager, but much less eschatological. Let's call it Zapata's wager. The same way Pascal thought a rational but skeptical person should act as if there was a God, because the payoff would be so good if it turned out there was. I think you should assume your art and your drawing skills will increase in value no matter what happens with AI in the future, because the payoff for not quitting will be so good. Think about it. The truth is, no one knows for sure what's going to happen with AI, or the economy, or the global order for that matter. So, if you quit, you're quitting based on a lot of assumptions and fortune telling. Let's say none of it goes belly up. What if you quit and in 10 years, everything is great and AI has been laid to rest in a little coffin made of consumer-grade RAM and GPUs? On that day, you will surely feel, in your fingertips, how good you might have been right now if you had spent the past 10 years making art rather than trying to become a national pickleball champion or whatever the hell else career you thought was safe from automation. I think this is a good bet, because even if everything does go tits up in 10 years, I doubt I could truly regret the progress I made and the skills I gained in that time. Even if I do, now, really need to put them on hold to learn how to man the EMP cannon atop the battlements of mankind's last stronghold. I don't think I could really regret it, because I truly believe mastery is self-justifying. No matter what happens with AI, if you find yourself 5 years from now drawing like a badass, I can't imagine that won't make you feel good and won't be built on the back of a lot of self-discipline and joyful discovery that you'll always value. I really think I'd be proud of myself for a sick sketch, even if I was scrawling it in a trench as murdering drones whizzed overhead. Am I okay? Do I like drawing too much? Please let me know. I might have lost the big picture here. The potential gain of sticking with it is the rare gift of mastery, of one of man's most spiritual and oldest skills, along with a lot of self-confidence, in a potential future era where hardly anyone had the wherewithal to stick with it. And the potential loss is just time that could have been spent learning some other, more traditionally practical skill that is actually equally susceptible to an AI sideswipe anyway. I'd rather stick with my passion when, on balance, there is no safe prediction for how things are going to shake out. And now, if you're anything like me, all this talking about art has produced an overwhelming desire to sit and draw. So I'm going to go do that, and I hope you do too. I hope you give the creative urge the space it needs in your life, so the moldering black crow that is the art demon doesn't decide you're a failed acolyte and reach out a marcid talon, and with a slow swipe of the claw, let your soul out of its cage. Journey well, and happy drawing.